Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I am still working my way through the beautiful scrap bundle which was sent to me recently by Bazaar. It was the green colourway. The green and the pink ones are probably my two. If I had to pick, they'd be my two favourites. I've been having a lovely time with this. I wanted to see how much I could do with just one of these bundles. I will put a link to Bazaar in the description box. Don't forget, if you make an order from them, if you put Arty Farty Annie Treat, I'll put it here in the note to seller box at checkout. They'll send you an extra little doodad in with your order, which is always nice to get a little surprise, isn't it? So these are all fabrics which have been rescued from the Indian textile industry, not kind of from clothes that have been worn as such. It's more offcuts, miscuts, things that have been on display, or been damaged in some way, and would otherwise have just added to the pile of waste, which is, a big problem in the textile industry. So this is us doing our little bit to help. And they're always such fun to play with, such a challenge. And since we first started using these scrap packs, they've expanded the range so that they're all different ones to choose from now. If you go to the link that I'll put in the description box and type in the word scrap, I find that's the easiest way, and that'll bring up all the different options. Anyway, let's have a look at what I've got, what I've done so far, what I've got left to play with, and what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, so you can see that there's a lot of green here, and some blues and some neutral colours as well. Here are some of the things that I've made already. Let's get my face out of the way because we're going to need that space. This is the kind of scrappy wrap that I made. They all come in, they don't wrap them in the online orders in plastic anymore. They put them all inside these beautiful sari bags, and I actually cut up, I've got some of it left, I cut up the sari bag that these came in to line this wrap with. I've put a sketchbook in there. This is for a special friend of mine who really does love green, so I thought this was perfect. So I just patched all the pieces together and added some kind of free-form embroidery to it. I had a lovely time with that. I have done videos about these. I'll link to my Bazaar playlist so you can see if you want to catch up. Then I made these two little pots, and I did another video about these. These were made out of the empty tape roll middles. These are really sturdy, really, you can see how tough that card is. I guess they need to be. So I just used those and some extra circles of card on the bottom and scraps. From all of this came, apart from the tape rolls, everything came from the scrap pack. Oh no, I did add the beads. I've had beads before in with the scrap packs. You always get a few little bits and bobs like that, but I didn't this time, so I took these out of my stash just to finish it off with. Then I made these little trinket boxes. I haven't quite finished with this one. I want to add some more stitching to this one. And I have done a video about making these in the past as well, so I will link to those. I think I did this one during one of the Whip and Waffle Wednesday lives, actually. This one turned out a bit taller. So these are made with empty tea lights. And the scraps, the only thing I added to these was the buttons. I've got a whole load. It's a really cute way actually to use up some vintage buttons. So it's those. I also used a couple of the scraps to make some scrunchies. There are lots of tutorials about scrunchies, so I thought I won't bother doing a video on that. If you haven't tried it before, try what they call the burrito method. I'll put that here, burrito method, of doing these scrunchies and putting the elastic in. It's a really interesting, and once you get your head around it, much quicker and easier way to do the scrunchies than the way I used to do them. So I made another one there as well. So that's two scrunchies, which I will actually make good use of. I've got all of this left in here. These I'm going to do something different with. I'm going to try weaving them together. This, I'll keep that as the backing. I started putting together a slow stitching scroll using some of the very small snippets like this. I didn't want to waste anything. I started doing that during last week's live, and then when I finished I thought, no, I'm not happy with that. I'm going to throw it all back in the box and do it again. So I will do that again and lay out a nice long scroll, and I think I'll back it with this. If I unpick this seam here, I'll have plenty enough to create my scroll. I've still got a little piece of this left, which you can see is what I've used around here. I've got a bigger piece of this, which I was thinking I might do another little trinket box with, because I've got some of these pieces as well and they go quite nicely together. So I might do another little box with those and the scroll. More than enough in there to do that. So put that to one side. Also put to one side, I've got these pieces. I've got a special project in mind for these. So you can see this is an example of where not everything in the pack is going to be green. You'll get some neutrals as well, and obviously other colours like blue and pink and things come into it, you know. So yeah, those I put aside for a specific project which I would do in the next video. I've got a fun idea. I hope it's going to work really well. Something I've not tried before. So keep all that to one side, and then I've still got this. Every single scrap pack now comes wrapped, bundled up, tied with it. In this case it was tied with this, which of course you can use as well, and wrapped in one of these beautiful pieces of patchwork, which of course you can do all sorts of things with. You can make some of the danglers that I was making last year. These are all on the playlist. You could make beautiful little needle books with them. You could cut bits to make cards with. You could do so many tags, brooches. You could do all kinds of things with these. Or just, you know, fold it up and turn it, or part of it I could cut there. Whoops. Turn these bits into a needle wrap, and then turn this one into a kind of trifold pouch as a little gift for someone. There's just so many things you could do with it. So that I haven't even started on yet. And this is all at the one pack. And then today, what I'm going to be looking at is lavender bags. So I've already made this one. I've made it similar to how we did the humbug danglers. And I've stuffed it with some polyfill, or you could use orts. I just haven't got much orts left at the moment. And then I put in some lavender as well. So by enclosing this loop, I can use that to attach it to a bag, or loop over a hanger to just use as a lavender bag. But quite likely I would put a ring on this and a lobster clasp, so I could put it on a craft bag and it would become like a little portable pincushion as well. Well, I suppose all pincushions are portable, aren't they? But one I might carry around with my craft bags. Oh, I can smell the lavender. So I've got some more pieces left. These also came in the pack. I made this one into a really simple bag. I just folded one piece of fabric in half, stitched all around, clipped the corners, turned the top over. Haven't even bothered to turn that under again because that's all inside and you're not going to see it. So all I need to do with this is fill it with lavender and put a drawstring through the top. And this one I'm going to turn into a humbug style one, similar to this. So that's what I thought I'd do for you today. Really, really simple. Next time I'll do the project I've got in mind with this. And yeah, I've still got these patchwork pieces left. I mean, it just shows how much you get. Yeah, and I thought with these I might try. I've used some bits of it inside, like inside the trinket boxes. So inside that one, yeah. Whoops. There you can see I've used it inside there. But I thought I might try weaving some pieces together and it would make like a little kind of coaster thing. So yeah, I've just I didn't use any particular measurement for this. I just used the size pieces of fabrics that I had. So for this one, this was the size I had left of this piece. So I took a little piece of that. This is something I'm adding, this cotton interlining. I'm adding that because this is quite thin, and because I'm going to put the lavender in as well. I just thought it needed a bit more body, so I'm going to do a bit of cantha stitching on here. There This came in, what was this in? I think this was tying something up, but somehow I'm sure it came out of this bundle. It must have been tying something up. I was thinking I could use that to go through here. It wouldn't be very pretty though, I suppose. Or I could make a plaited cord with some of my embroidery thread. I did keep some matching embroidery thread in here. I've still got it. Yes. This is already going wonky. I don't care. You know what I'm going to say. Embrace the wonk. I'm just going to finish covering this piece with stitching like that, just to give it a bit more body, and also because I like the detail. And I quite enjoy doing the stitching. It's actually my birthday today as I'm recording this. We went out for lunch yesterday, had a lovely lunch, but I did have a cocktail and we did share a bottle of wine, so I fell asleep earlier than usual in the evening and missed Christine's live premiere, which she does every week on a Friday. Friday here in the UK, Saturday morning over in Australia, and yeah, where she's doing her Hexy stitch along, and I missed it. I managed to miss it again. I'm going to start watching the playback of that and carry on stitching this, and what I'm hoping is I'll finish this project before Tom arrives in a little while. Partly because it's my birthday and partly because it's also the first Saturday in the month, so we're doing our monthly Saturday night in live stream as well. So yes, maybe if I get my skates on I could redo that little slow stitched scroll with the tiny scraps, and I can work on that this evening. That would be a nice kind of relaxing, mindless thing for me to do, because it is my birthday and champagne may be involved. Okay, I've finished doing all of that straight stitching on there, and now I've put the two pieces together, right size together, and I've decided I would just do a running stitch, and then when I've finished my shape I'll go over it in a decorative thread with a kind of deliberately oversized kind of whip stitch that shows kind of thing, because I could have just back stitched this by hand, but I get bored with that. But I quite like doing a decorative whip stitch, so yeah, it's just the way my head works. I could have whipped around it in a machine, but to be honest I couldn't be bothered threading a bobbin with an appropriate colour just for this tiny bit of stitching, so I just watched a bit of Christine and enjoyed doing some running stitch. So I'm going to leave that threaded but take the needle out. I'm not leaving it threaded, I'm going to leave that thread there but take the needle out. And now let's just turn this through. Got to be a little bit careful because I have only got that running stitch at the moment. And I want to stuff this fairly firmly, so there we go. So now instead of just closing it flat like that, what I'm doing is pinching it that way to create that humbug effect. So I need to now stuff it. I'm going to use some stuffing and I'm going to fill the rest with lavender. So it'll be part and part, you know. I'll need more stuffing than this. And I'm going to leave this one without a hanging loop, and it will just function just as a pincushion. I could later on add a loop if I wanted to, I guess. Just get down into those points. I've got to be a little bit careful because my stitching, yeah, it's just running stitch at the moment. It's amazing how much stuffing this takes. Let's throw a My neighbour's dog has been quiet for months. I thought they'd got the hang of it, but seems to be coming out to play again. Okay, hopefully my new sound thingy that Tom worked out for me will cut out a lot of things like dogs barking and aeroplanes going over that you usually hear on my videos. Oh, I love that smell. There we go, let's get some more stuffing. Lovely listening to Christine sitting there. They're away from home. The temperatures are so different. It's a hot day there, and it's lovely hearing the bird song that is not like bird song we hear here. It's funny to think we're just starting to see some sunny days and the birds starting to do some nest building and stuff. Whereas there, it's probably coming to the end of summer for them. Oops, that might have been a little bit much. Okay, let's put some of that inside this one a minute. I want this to be firm enough to make a pincushion, so it does. I am putting quite a lot of stuffing in here. We had a lovely day out yesterday for my birthday. Went to see a local museum that's just been refurbished, the Castle Museum in Norwich. And then we had a lovely Thai lunch at the Giggling Squid. I had a cocktail as well, and we shared a bottle of wine, so... So now I'm going to close the top across that way. Tuck the ends in. And stitch it closed all the way across the top. I'll just use a ladder stitch now with this ordinary thread, and then I will get my fancy thread out and go all the way around all of the seams in a whip stitch, just to give it a kind of decorative finish in the same thread as I've used here. Well, I think this will make a nice little gift for a friend. Quite like to post. I love the pincushions that Christine is busy making on the video I've just been watching. She's putting the hexagons together, and it's this ingenious way of creating a kind of three-dimensional shape with them, which I am most definitely going to try with the hexagons that I'm making. I just think that is gorgeous. And whether, like, a lot of people are so enjoying this hexagon project that they've made loads and loads, they've already finished their mats. So this will give them another idea for what they can do with them. Or if they're like me, got far too many projects on the go and don't work so quickly, and maybe won't make enough hexagons for a mat, then it's quite a nice idea to just do the pincushion instead. I'll just ladder stitch across here just quickly, hold it together, and then go in with a more decorative stitch. That's shown a ladder stitch lots of times before, so I will just whip across here and come back in a minute to finish this off with you, and also show how I'm going to finish this one. And this one, I think what I'll do is make a twisted cord with this that came in the scrap bundle. I might even twist together a bit of this in with it. That could look quite cute. Okay. Back in a mo. Right, I'm just I've already done some stitch across there. It's not the tidiest ever stitching. That's not what I want. I want the rustic effect. But you definitely could do, well, you could just do a proper back stitch in the first place and not need any overstitching here at all. Or you could do, I could do a feather stitch or something. I'm going to take it out and do a bit of feather stitch down this bit just because that'll just be something a bit different. Let's do that for a change. I just like the look of a very visible stitching is what I'm saying, but it doesn't have to be if you don't like that sort of effect. It's a very personal thing, isn't it, really? Okay, I'm going to do not a feather stitch, a Y stitch down here instead. Y stitch or fly stitch. Or you could do a big cross stitch back and forth. It's just something to give it, I need a little bit more strength because I only did that running stitch to the seam, and also it's just a decorative detail. Yeah, great big cross stitch back and forth would look quite cute as well. So I'm going to carry on like that and finish this one off, and then I'll come back and show you the other two. Here we go, I've finished stitching all around that now. I think it looks quite cute, it feels nice in my hand, smells amazing. And I'm just going to use this last little piece of thread to stitch this one closed. I'll probably just do a whip stitch again, and I'll go, or maybe a blanket stitch this time for a change. Yeah. And maybe a little bit extra stitching where the loop is. Yeah, let's go blanket stitch this time, shall we, for a change. So let's pull that through, hide my knot inside. Do a little starting stitch and just come up where I want my first stitch to start. It's a little bit awkward to do for the camera, this is, with all the clips in the way as well. Yeah, I think this will look cute, and it will be nice and secure as well. Could definitely have added some beads or whatever to these if I wanted as well, quite easily. I have to take that clip out of my way now, so I just have to hold this in place for a minute. Make sure this looks okay on the other side as well. Okay, so I'll keep stitching all the way across here to close up that top and include the loop, and then I'll give the loop a little tug if it feels like it needs it. I might do a couple of extra stitches across there as well, just to make sure that doesn't come adrift. I think it'll be okay though, it's not like it's anything very heavy. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this at a slightly less awkward angle off camera, and then I will be back, and all I've got to finish now is this one. There we go, I've done that Y stitch down there again, blanket stitch both ends. That's the say, quite rustic looking, but that's what I like. I think it's nice to have a little bit of a hand stitch look. I'm quite happy with both of them. So now I'm just going to, this cord that came in the bundle, I'm just going to, it did come up, I'm trying to think now, did it come in this bundle or was it wrapping something up and I saved it? I can't remember. But anyway, I've folded it in half, I'm holding the two ends together, sticking my finger in the loop, and I'm just going to twist and twist and twist like this for quite a while. Sort of twisted, quite well twisted together like that. Then I'm going to fold it in half, let the I've got my finger stuck in there, hold all the ends together and just let them twist themselves together to create this little twisted cord. So it's a little bit more robust. I think I might twist it again because that's a bit too loosely twisted, so I'm going to do that again and just twist it a bit more tightly this time. It's pretty firmly twisted now. Let's try again. Let's let that twist together and knot it at one end. And I've got this nice little twisted cord, which I think will look quite cute to finish off this little rustic look again. So I've got this fat kind of tapestry needle, which I'm hoping, because I've managed to get the ends through that needle. And now I will just, I think I'm going to start at the middle. I'm going to put this needle inside the casing so that it's not coming through the back, it's just in that little channel that I've created. And let's take it round to about the middle of the other side, which is there. Okay. Oops. I'm going to bring it out there. And then I'll leave a little gap and go back in again. Making this up completely as I go along. I think this will work. There we go. Tie a knot in there before that unravels. Trim the ends. And now I can just pull that up. Didn't need to leave that loop on the other side. I was thinking I would do that to hang it by. So I could leave like a little loop there. Yeah, I think that is quite nice actually. Here we go. I can do a little kind of decorative knot here. But it can hang up by that loop. That's it, yeah. There we go. I think that's quite cute. It's very kind of rustic looking. I like that it could easily be opened to refill with more lavender. That's a bonus. I could probably knot that if I wanted it to be more secure, but I'm going to leave it like that, I think. These are my finished lavender bags. I'm really happy with them. I think they'd be really cute either as lavender bags or sachets in drawers or on hangers. So yeah, very, very happy with all of those. Here's some of the other bits I've still got to use. I've still got this, and I've got a lovely idea for the neutrally colour pieces. And I forgot to show the other day. They also sent me in some of their aperture cards they're starting to do now, and I used some of the other scrap fabrics from the same bundle to make these cards as well. So you can see how much you get in these scrap bundles. So I've still got quite a bit to do, but today's project, let's see if I can get all of these. There we go. That's today's project finished. I've made that go funny now. And I will be back next time with that project that I'm going to make with those gorgeous kind of neutral and kind of autumnal colours, actually. Yeah, I've got a lovely idea to try with them. Yes, and if I get my skates on now, I can get that scroll ready to be working on at tonight's live. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you to all of my lovely channel members who I'm going to be zooming up here as we speak. I love you all. You are amazing peeps. And I know some of you have been with me for well over a year now, and I really appreciate every single one of you. And thank you to everybody, channel member or not, for watching and taking the time to comment and everything. Or just, yeah, it's just, you make me very happy. Thank you. Okay, I better stop. Go and get my arse in gear. Oh, hello, Tom is here. Say hello. I've just been saying you're going to be here any moment.